everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry. I was wrong about stuff yesterday to talk correctly. I made a mistake. Hey, nobody's perfect. So that's kind of the point of a theory, after all. Sometimes you just get it wrong. I'm not afraid of my mistakes, and half the fun of a theory is getting it wrong. In fact, that's more fun than getting it right, because this way you're able to correct your mistakes and learn for later. But what was I wrong about exactly? Well, I suppose I should provide you with a little context first. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, Rovio sponsored this guy. I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to show any footage from the video or anything because of potential privacy or copyright reasons or whatever. But basically, Rovio sponsored this guy to make a video about the dodos. Now, Rovio claimed it was for, learning from our mistakes in nature, which I can see that, but at the same time, I couldn't help but notice the similarities between the dodo story and the Angry Bird story. Okay, well, I got two major takeaways from the video. First of which being the dodos went extinct because of an invasive species coming to their island and eating their eggs. Keep that in mind. And two, the dodos were way smarter than we give them any credit for. But for the most part right now, what I want to focus on is the first point about the whole eating eggs thing. Now, I don't think it takes rocket scientists to know that, invasive species eating eggs, that obviously raises the pigs eating the birds' eggs. But what I got wrong was the location. In my earlier timeline videos, I suggested that Melody went on a world tour and eventually went to Piggy Island, where the pigs discovered and started a war between the birds. However, I think the opposite is true. That the pigs heard about Melody and went to South America or wherever it was that the war took place. And I believe it's South America because of all of the bird versus pig war stuff there. So, yeah. Pigs actually went to the birds, not the other way around. My fault. That being said, however, another thing I think I got wrong was who actually won the war. Initially I suggested it was the birds after they evolved into the eagles. But I don't think that's the case anymore. Instead, I think it was the pigs. Okay, like I said, the birds evolved into the eagles. But I don't think it was for more strength and support. Rather, I think it to be one of two possibilities. Either protection from the cold of Eagle Island, where they were most likely banished to, I guess, rather than just retirement. Or maybe it's just because that's what happens when birds get old. I don't know. One of two possibilities there. Now, there is another thing. The golden eggs. These, thankfully, haven't changed at all. But I still feel it was worth mentioning. Basically, our timeline video suggested that the golden eggs turn golden after the birds hid them away from the pigs. And eventually, out of age, instead of gaining a young bird in there, instead contains the memories of the war. Okay. Now, this next section is going to talk about Angry Birds Island, or Angry Birds Hatchery, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, this game was a part of a major, Tetra League, whatever. If you haven't heard of it, how? But, yeah. This game is actually a completely canceled Angry Birds game. The reason why it's important is because there's another thing I think I got wrong. Who made the Angry Birds? Or at least, who made all of them? Basically, in this game, it's basically a port of Classic, except you have this little hatchery feature where you can make your own Angry Birds using features and stuff from already existing birds. Mix and match your own. Who are we playing as when we're doing this? It can't be the pigs, because why would we make birds to defeat ourselves? And it can't be the birds either. Because, well, the pigs made the Angry Birds, right? Or did they? Now, obviously, Angry Birds Hatchery is not canon, but I believe the idea of it is. So just the idea of making Angry Birds, very related to my timeline video, I feel like I should mention it here. As the whole point of this video is fixing errors I made based on the lore of the Angry Birds. Because here's the thing. I'm pretty sure the pigs invented the Stella Flock, right? They've got to have. There's no way they didn't. But what if the Stella Flock eventually found out about the hatchery and eventually made the rest of the Angry Birds? Remember how I said the dodos were intelligent? I think this is partially from that. The birds may have lost, but they're still pretty smart. And they were able to figure out pretty quickly how all this happened. Another part of my theory that I realized more so glossed over was the existence of birds such as Tony and Ruby and Striper and Bon Bon and Female White Bird and a bunch of other birds. I suggested they were beta versions of the classic flock, used as a basis for them. What if they're not? What if they're all experimental versions? All just made from the Stella Flock messing around. If that's the case, this also could mean how Bubbles and Silver, rather than being the children of Matilda and Terrence, like I initially suggested, are also just more experiments from the Stella Flock. It's possible. But that's all I really want to talk about for now. There will be a timeline recap tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. So be on the lookout for that. Because in there I'll explain, I'll just clear up anything else. And it's also kind of something I want to do every year. Just make an updated version of the timeline. So, thank you for watching. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.